Whoa, 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 whoa. No one picked this up. I have to say that it doesn't look exactly like a slam dunk because at the very end, the last take, it says something about acting. They all both say acting like a bunch of times. Wow. Ask and you shall receive. Talk about that. This is the second time this has happened to me. The first time was with his lawsuit. Like, I hope it comes out soon because I'm impatient. I'm really curious. The next day or overnight or something, it came out. Then now this drops. There are multiple variations online. I personally first saw it at Popcorn Planet. Check that video out. But I will include the page 6 on YouTube video because Dave Neal also has it up on his channel and he got it from the Daily Mail. Popcorn Planet got it directly from Justin Baldoni's law team. Page 6 probably the same. They probably kind of distributed it to the major sources that they've seen favors them, and that's fine. That makes sense, maybe not even, maybe other sources too. I don't know. Daily Mail has gone kind of both ways, right? Before we start, I'll say I didn't realize just how tough this will be as far as these people will be in character for a lot of these video evidence pieces. And that's really important to remember. However, one thing that I know is noticed is also they come out of character. She's more out of character at the beginning, and then she gets into her character, it seems like after the first few minutes, and then he's really in his character at the beginning, and then he gets out of the moment. And so it's like they just miss each other. Maybe that was the disconnection, and that made it feel awkward. And so when she was in character, she was thinking like he's not in character. He's talking to me like Justin. And when he's in character, he was feeling the same about her because they both claimed the other wasn't in character, but they both were at different times. My opinion, I don't know. It will be tough for people to remember and to differentiate, especially with his character, because his character is such a strong, not even a trigger, but it's a strong issue, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see how people talk about that. I would say latch on to all the different people that have worked on set, that are actors, that are in filmmaking to help you maybe, sorry, she's crazy. Maybe help you a little bit to pick that apart. What they don't have, page 6 doesn't have, is the disclaimer that both Dave from getting his footage from Daily Mail, Popcorn Planet guy, sorry, I have a lot of these. Like I've just like learned about so many new people, so many new things. And does he say his name? Anyways, they also had the video with the disclaimer and also the part of the script. The part of the script reads really? They're outside? Okay. Bar at night. Lily and Ryle slow dance in the bar. Just caught something. I wonder who wrote this. Anyways, Lily and Ryle slow dance in the bar. Patrons around them drinking and watching sports, completely in their own world. Lily and Ryle are. So this is a montage. This is one scene of the montage. It also included a kind of like a disclaimer or like a summary or something. And it says Miss Lively's complaint alleges that during a scene, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming for a slow dance montage. Mr. Baldoni was behaving inappropriately. The following videos, because there are 3 takes, captured on May 23rd, 2023, clearly refute Miss Lively's characterization of his behavior. The scene in question was designed to show the two characters falling in love and longing to be close to one another. Both actors are clearly behaving well within the scope of the scene and with mutual respect and professionalism. These are all 3 takes filmed of the sequence, and I will talk through it partially if I don't even know where she is. I will say before go well, I'll wait until we see some of this. I don't know if at the beginning they talk about another scene or about this scene. It seems like this is the scene where specifically Blake brought it up. So we're not on our marks and the light is behind you. He has to explain his directing choice that he planned with the cinematographer and the cinematographer leading all the camera people. Like maybe it was actually, why did she even say that? Because she should know based on the setup, right? You could see clearly before they even started that it was all the cameras were wherever they are. That the light was behind him. So, yeah, I believe that at the beginning she was not really in character. She was more worried maybe about everything else. I take this as like maybe she's uncomfortable. So, okay, now they're, I feel like neither of them are uncomfortable. They're literally talking as like two director, producer, director, co-directors. So they're literally not talking about. If you mute this and just watch them and pretend this is a montage and we don't know what they're saying, you will see that was just not in character all over the place. And it's like, why are you arguing creative differences while on camera? But, anyways, because you can say, hey, can we have another take? I believe that as an actor, you can ask, like, oh, I wasn't good in that one. Especially her as an actress. This particular neck part, like, she consented. We could see the other one, it looked a little bit like it wasn't rehearsed. We don't know how much of this was rehearsed. We don't know how much was discussed with the intimacy coordinator. We don't even know the reasons for any of that. We don't know so much, so much, so much. But this is a tough scene that they leaked or released because there's so many questions that come from this. But I think this one was the one that looked the clearest false in her recollection or her claim of what happened. So, and also he brings up the Ryan thing, and then she talks about it seems completely like banter. Even her saying, that was actually kind of cute of her. She looked like she really loves her husband, which is good. I don't think anyone's well, one person disputed that, but I think, yeah, she jokes kind of like we've seen her joking style, not just in this lawsuit that he brought up, but like in previous things. She's directing again, which again, that doesn't. It's because we're kind of like arguing and talking about two completely different issues. So, her directing is one issue I think that is important to address and to tackle with the lawsuit. And then the harassment issue, which both of those can coexist at the same time. I think this is her humor. That was like really hard. Is Jenny Slate going to sue him now too? That's a joke, but for sure she's not going to follow him after that unless they talked about it and joked about it. Just from this, I will say that it's really like neither remembered. However, what she claimed was destructive with an intent to paint him into something particular we did not see, and we'll see the other ones, and I haven't seen in any of these takes anything to what she was alluding to. I've seen that he was at times out of character, she was out of times out of character, and in character, and so forth. That is like the closest thing that it gets to both of them. And then the big ones is him. Did he? Because I think she claimed. Let's go to that. So her claim is her lawsuit says, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. That has been proven wrong and false. We could say she didn't know that, however, she had the dailies. She has seen all of this. Unless the montage was already made and she's like, I don't need to see that one. That one's fine. However, she has seen all the shots, all the takes from the movie because she edited it. She had her cut. So she got all the dailies. So this was false. She knew, or she could have easily checked and find out that the sound was recorded. What maybe they could have said as lawyers, no sound was going to be on camera or something. I don't know. They could have phrased it where we would have understood it like this, but it would have given them a way out of they just plain out lied. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as the Ryle. At the beginning of the scene, when they started rolling, he was 100% in character. This is my opinion. I am not in his mind. There's no like exact way to tell. It's not like a light goes on, when you're in a studio and the light goes on red recording. People don't have that. But he was completely in character. Completely in character as someone who is seducing someone, as someone who is in love with someone, as someone who is attracted to someone. However you want to put it. That was the scene. And they were here to do a montage or a part of the montage showing them falling in love. I saw him being 100% in character. You might argue that he wasn't. I would say I feel pretty strongly about that. So, yeah, instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. That is true at one point. After she kept talking and talking, and we see, I think in this next clip, we see her saying, or him saying, I got lost. And it's specific to the talking. I forget how it's phrased, but yeah. But we can see also, like, she starts directing. He's trying to, like, just like let it go, just focus, be in the scene. And then she just keeps talking and keeps, like, directing and whatever. And the point I have with that, too, is okay, some actors, depending, whatever, let's say it wasn't a boundary that she was crossing as the actress role that she was there to play on that day, especially. And also, it highlights exactly what I was saying a while ago. Like, this is why you do not have democracy on set. I don't think democracy is the right word. You don't have that kind of atmosphere where everyone gets to chime in and make decisions and contribute. You have to be very careful on how, if you want your actors, cast, crew, all the people to give you ideas, to give you their input, to give you their opinions and their take on things and so forth, which a lot of directors like, I imagine. He was open to collaborating as far as we know. I've encouraged that. However, it is very hard to encourage and also lay down the boundary that at the end of the day, the director makes that decision. That is for a reason, because it is so hard. You get into moments like this where there's creative differences. Then what do you do? If you both are equals, who decides? Where does it go? You get another third party, but that's the director. The director is that third party. The director is the one that decides. So I feel like it shows that side of things as well. But yeah, I didn't see that he was out of character until she kind of brought him out of character. That isn't bad inherently. I mean, it kind of is. It kind of sucks. And if they were two actors, he could have had a fit about it. I mean, or at least like a big sigh like that. Like, it must be so frustrating. But he's like, okay, this isn't even going to be with audio or whatever. Or maybe he was recording because maybe he thought maybe we'll put like some snippets like over the music. Like, he was giving himself options. Who knows? But maybe he thought, okay, like we'll just do another take, let her talk, and then he was like talking with her, but not at her, which she's kind of implying. She was out of character from the moment the cameras started rolling. She's like, we're not on our marks, etc., etc., etc. And the way that she said that was not like, you'll see later on, later and later, she gets into character more, she gets more comfortable, which is also something to like point out, I guess. Like, she gets more comfortable as it goes on. The thing that she and Ryan always talk, and they don't have, she perceives it as like such an uncomfortable thing to just stare at each other. It shows that she has troubles with intimacy, but that's also not a crime. That's nothing. It's just, again, showing that. What did I want to say? Gosh darn it. I just kind of lost it. I don't remember what I wanted to say. I just had like a brain freeze. I have no idea. We'll move on. But up to this point, getting more comfortable and getting into character, and she sounds sweeter and more demure, more her character, the character that she's, there to portray in love and all this stuff. At the beginning, she just kind of talks very matter of fact, we're off our marks, etc., etc. Maybe not exactly like this, but pretty close. Like, you could tell she's not in character. Is this all a lie? I mean, it's not a lie technically, because at times I believe that he spoke out of character, but in order to talk about like direction or, to bond or something, not seductively, which is, again, huge thing to keep in mind, because that's what she's implying and saying. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear down her neck as he said, "It smells so good." we did not hear that in that context. The "it smells good" will come, I think, after this. The neck thing came before. Two different takes. Could he have whispered it as he was saying that? I'm sure someone can like zoom in and forensically analyze. Was he talking? Was his like throat showing signs that he was talking? I feel like this is what we've come to right now over these two actors and director. And yeah, I just had a moment like, what are we doing? Short of that, you couldn't you didn't hear anything, and he is mic'd. You would have heard him, at least like if you even couldn't have heard him what he was saying, but you could hear him whispering. You could even hear her through his mic, because when she turns away you can't hear her. She says something. There's one part where it happens. Maybe she was mic'd too, I don't know. Anyways, none of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script. That is true, but completely, what's that word? Not fabricated, misdirected, miscategorized. And nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. False. That is false, but that's not a fact false. That's just, have you read the book? Have you seen the movie? Were you there? Did you read the script? That's exactly their roles. He was when Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Miss Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." All right. Okay, no one has talked about this. Not Popcorn Planet guy. Sorry, I don't mean to disrespect you, not knowing your name. I will learn it. I don't know, after this. Not him, not Dave Neal, and these are the only two people I saw so far, but no one has pointed this out. When she later objective, was she objecting on camera in that, like later in that scene, or later? This is very vague, that she could be saying, oh, well, I actually meant like after, way after the fact or whatever, like later in the, when we were in our trailers or whatever, or walking to our trailers. But we didn't hear her object at all. There was one moment when, oh, she just kept saying, like, I think we should be talking, whatever. It sounded like, oh, maybe you could say maybe she was uncomfortable. She didn't want, but was she uncomfortable with him? Was she uncomfortable with the intimacy? That's what I was saying earlier. When you see body language analysis, you can tell someone is not being truthful, but you cannot tell that they're lying. And you can for sure not tell what they're lying about or what the truth is based on their action. Just because they're uncomfortable, that's the thing. Like, you can't really tell that they're lying, but you can tell that they're uncomfortable. You can tell that some things made them uncomfortable. But it could be that there was a beautiful episode in Lie to Me about this, exactly around this topic. So watch that. I think it was episode 2 maybe, or kind of early on. I don't know. I don't remember. She could be uncomfortable because he basically said, no, I want this scene to be shot from this angle or this way. And she could have felt embarrassed, annoyed that she didn't get her direction. She could have held numerous things. She could have plain intimacy issues. Just because she's married and has kids doesn't mean intimacy is not a problem. Intimacy not being, sleeping with someone. Intimacy being like being able to stare at your person, stare at this camera, stare at yourself in the mirror for a long period of time and feel very comfortable with that. Oh, I mean, that's not exactly intimacy, but that goes into intimacy, being very comfortable and so forth. It could have been that, like, oh, I just need to keep talking because this feels very awkward. Now, as an actor, you're not going to be you in every role, so you need to do what the role needs, not what you need. But it also could make sense, she could have said, yeah, but, I feel like Lily, is like less experienced and she just feels awkward, whatever. She could have said that too. Anyways, whatever. But to him to explain why she needed to talk. But as far as Blake, why she wanted to talk, it could be that, or it could be plainly that's what she finds romantic. As she said, we can take her at her word, right? If we're taking her at her word. Except a lot of her words so far have been proven categorically false. Not all of this. Also, Justin, his response to that claim was, Lively continued arguing. Okay, wait. Sheds light on what this point was alluding. I'm not going to read actually all of this, but basically consistently unable to take direction insisted she really liked the idea of the characters constantly talking, and we did see this. She could not say, okay, you're the director, in her mind. You're okay, you're the director, will do as you say. I gave you my input, but you ultimately decide. No, she kept saying, like, let's talk, because it's more romantic, because as she described, she and her husband like to keep talking and talking and talking. This was false, Justin. This was false. She didn't describe that. He said, I know that you and Ryan like to talk all the time. And she agreed. She, again, that's the thing. When you're saying something, if it's false or not false, like it does matter also what the false part is, you know. Her director, Baldoni, and the film's assistant director who was directing the scene disagreed. In an attempt to encourage her to take his direction, Baldoni offered up that he and his wife often just look into each other's eyes silently, to which she responded, like sociopaths. Also false. I'm not going to not call him out, too. This is not about, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can be Team Justin, Team Blake, you can have your opinion. You can be like this side, that side, all the sides. You can be 100% on one of the sides. But if things get revealed, you call them out as they are revealed, as they are. You don't make excuses for them, right? There is no excuse. He literally said something that wasn't, clearly we see on camera, wasn't the case. As far as like who said what, but what she said was, it didn't even happen the way that she said it. He tried once and then tried the other one. He says it smells good. We haven't even gotten to that point. I'm sorry. Just go look at the video. Gosh. She didn't say like sociopaths, which also indicates on how well they knew each other. I think to me, the beginning of this video was like super cringy as far as like, because they were acting, and it was like so it was just so uncomfortable because it just feels like you're intruding on an intimate moment. And then later on, we all get comfortable because they both come out of character and it's what it is. He said, it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. And she, like, is completely agreeing with that and just laughing, like, that is totally me. She says, yeah, I'd be like, oh no, I found a sociopath. Because he says, it is literally, we just literally look at each other. That is so sweet. Honestly, I mean, I think you need those moments too. You need to be able to be comfortable not talking with your partner. I think that says a lot. But also, it's cute both ways, especially seeing and hearing how they talk about it versus just reading it. But she says, oh no, I found a sociopath, is what she refers to what she would be thinking if that was her. So far, neither of them are like neither of them are spot on to this. However, again, I will say this because I think it's really really pertinent. Him releasing these videos does say a lot because he does put himself in people's hands. He will be scrutinized. There will be people who will pick and choose and do all sorts of things with this. People will be like, hey, but it's not exactly as you said it. People will be like, well, but what happened before the camera? And you could say that never ends. You know, before they met, that's where it ends. They should make a movie like that. Before they met, it was all better for both of them. You could bring in arguments, so many arguments. So it says a lot how comfortable he feels releasing this. And also, he owes us all of this now because he says it publicly to us. The other part is what she said depicted him in a very specific tone that was incredibly damaging to him. I mean, to depict her in a way where she is just off character or out of character or whatever is one thing. They don't look good. Either of them don't look good basically on this. But he definitely proves that she's wrong. It proves that he is not a creep, as she states, as she alludes to, because he didn't say, oh, it smells so good as he was caressing her neck. The whole like body tan and body makeup, you could see also just how like normal that is. And the whole nose thing, I don't know, I guess like lawyer talk maybe, because the nose thing also seemed like just to friends. They seemed very friendly about that. It didn't seem like he was offended. Doesn't mean that he wasn't. Just like with her, doesn't mean that she wasn't offended by anything just because she doesn't look it, of course. But to be fair, based on what we know, I didn't see anything where he was offended. And also, again, he was the one bringing it up. Because he has referenced his body dysmorphia, which he has talked about before, and based on his body looks, I remember like there's this guy Miles from Made in Chelsea. He is so good looking, and then at one point he just like bulked up, and it was so gross to me. But he felt like he wasn't bulked enough, I think, or and so he opened up about body dysmorphia too. And body dysmorphia can show up in different ways on every person, on each person. It's individual, and it can be that he also feels this way about his nose, that he just as a whole, he's referred to himself as an ugly duckling in this one video that I saw today back in his Jane the Virgin times or something. Like, I know from my mom who hates noses, people with a bigger nose, and specifically that shape that he has, can be made fun of, can be looked at differently and so forth. So he could be insecure, and he maybe was kind of trying to diffuse his insecurity by saying, oh, I know, because, of my nose, she laughs it off. And, she could have been a little bit more sensitive, but she admittedly herself said she is not the sensitive type. She is the butthole type. So that's what she said. And her sense of humor kind of shows that. And I also saw nothing wrong with that personally. I saw that she was making the jokes that she always makes. And should he sue her because he felt uncomfortable with that and it caused him internal trauma? Or should he kind of realize that's her sense of humor? She doesn't mean like a particular thing. It wasn't that she was like so badly attacking him either. And I think that's like the point that he was trying to make with this. It's like he laughed off and joked in turn, even as Lively joked that he should get plastic surgery. That's what you do as someone who works on himself, on herself. You realize when the time is to be like, whoa, this is a huge boundary. And when you realize, okay, this is who they are, and I know what they meant by this or what they didn't mean by this, and this is an insecurity I have, and I need to own that one up, and etc. So that's what I saw from that. What is this next part? Oh, take two. It doesn't even make sense what they say. I see what Nelson says about his voice, that he has that vocal fry. I didn't even notice it before. Even this scene, the idea that he's making advances on her and she might be more reluctant or something because they just met or whatever. This is the part with "it smells good." That sounds flirty. So this is 21:35, 24:12. So I know when editing. Sorry, I'm so tired. Just like zoning out. So a couple of things there. One, "it smells good" is 100% not in a creepy way that it sounded in her claim and lawsuit. He literally says, "it smells good." That was literally his tone, because she said, "you're probably getting my spray tan today." So they've been here before, whatever. It is cringy. This goes into like, I feel like this is such an invasion of privacy, because to be actors, like, you hope none of this makes it really outside, sometimes. I don't know. It's like, it's one thing to show people the cut scene, the edited music on, all the edits. But clearly they both are, I mean, especially in that, they both are out of character. He sounded a little bit more in character. He sounded a lot more in character, which can make it feel even more cringy. Having the theory in the back of my mind, like, oh, was there something like attraction, whatever, between them? That also clouds how we see this, and you can use that, because again, we can't know ever 100% sure that he's in character, except if we understand the character, understand what we need to see from each, and so forth. But then with the spray tan and the "it smells good," like, nothing was there nothing was there. And also, right after that, the other thing I wanted to say is that when he yells "cut" and he goes to his normal self, that also kind of shows like who his normal self is, how he normally talks as himself. And it also shows how, I don't know, to me, it makes me think of, like, okay, cool, we're cutting, coming out of character now. It's like boom or whatever. And this is third scene is a bunch of legs and feet and and stuff. And I don't hear any audio. I didn't hear any audio to it. I take that back. There is audio. She's like, the sparkle, 22/11/53/01. That's their slate. This is take one of this other angle. There's no description to one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 7:59, minute 7:59 on our end on the SRCTC 21374700. Just before that, he says something like, I couldn't hear the verb, but basically it's him saying, my eyes literally, like, I was so big that my eyes hurt. He says something like, either like, I'm not gonna let you direct this, okay, or I don't want you to direct this, okay. And she's like, no, no, I know. No one picked this up. Oh my god. Don't crop out her heel. He's just let's just annoyed. We're putting a lot into that, but she literally is like concerned about her heel. She's literally like the director and cinematographer and everything. Not the cinematographer. We're exaggerating now, but I wish I could hear. There's so much. So this part seems okay. I need to listen to this. I need this to, yeah. Oh gosh. This part seems to be not on mic. Maybe this is where the stuff that she was saying comes in. So maybe she wasn't lying either. I think Popcorn Planet guys, sorry, I will get to know your name. And Dave Neal, I think they rushed to judgment because of the first two scenes, and also it's really hard to tell what's going on there. One thing is for sure that's clear from the beginning to the end is that she was trying to direct the scene. That is for sure. So far we have not heard or seen anything that was inappropriate, out of character, especially out of character inappropriate. However, this part, this third part, they don't, even provide subtitles because maybe it's hard for them even to hear what it is. I don't know. I find it very kind of frustrating. I just pull my neck again because this is going to be hard to like tell. Like you have to close your eyes and just all your senses and hope you can hear something. If someone transcribes this, that would be awesome with better hearing and special things. We definitely clearly heard him say something about her directing this and basically him not wanting that one way or another, and she recognizing that's what it was ending up being and trying to like downplay that. So I'm gonna check this out and I'll be right back. Okay, it seems like I have no time and no space and anything, but I have to say that it doesn't look exactly like a slam dunk because at the very end, the last take, it says something about acting. They all both say acting like a bunch of times, and it almost sounds like her saying, "I'm sure acting" or something like that. So, ooh, is this where it happened? Where what she says comes into play and what he says came into play in the previous ones? What does that even mean? Yeah, you're still recording, thankfully. Yeah. It is so impossible for me to hear what was said because the music is so loud.